I'm going to be going through what is in my writer's bag. This is what I take with me if I'm going to an event like the Indie Author Day panel, if I'm going to a writer's workshop, or if I'm just going to a cafe to write. These are all the things that I found that just make it easier to write, make it easier to just get things done, to keep everything in one bag. I just have to grab it and go. I don't really have to worry about, do I have everything? Or I'm not gonna be caught in a moment where I'm like, oh, I wish I could, but I don't have. Everything's in there. So my writer's bag is this. In the front couple of pouches here, we have a hair tie, a Band-Aid, and just a cereal bar. And this side, I just have some staples. Right now, I've got a few pages of Heaven Killer, don't look. This is some of the edits and critiques that the person that runs the writer's workshop, she has been generous enough to give me some critiques and edits on Heaven Killer for the past over a year now. So these are some of her notes. I also have just a plain old notebook, and I have my planner. Always want to keep that on hand, so that way, you know, if we have to bump something 2 to 3 weeks away, or she's really good about, the person that runs the writer's workshop, she's really good about letting us know upcoming events and things like that. Other reading groups that are going on. I've got a proper, I think this is just called a folder, a big folder. So I have notes from the Indie Author Day panel. I also have, I believe, yes I do, my notes for the presentation that I gave. And before we started showing up early, I added a bunch of extra notes as well. And it has a couple pens in here, and I got a place for business cards. I didn't have to worry about, do they have a place for me to put my notes, because if nothing else, I could just stand and hold this. So having something like this, I've used this in interviews as well. This is just something really nice. It gives you that extra look of professionalism. I don't even think there's anything. Oh, this is where I have my face mask. It's in the back there. Because yeah, if I'm going out and about, that's probably gonna be where I put, I don't know, receipts and things like that as I go, because it is important, you know, as you're an author and this is becoming more of a business, to keep track of all of your expenses. So having a place to keep all of your receipts as you go, because if you're at a cafe writing, you're there to work, technically that coffee you bought is a business expense. So keep track of all those things. It's tax deductible. So this is probably my favorite thing in here. I just got this not too long ago, and this is a foldable keyboard. So this opens up and it syncs to your phone via Bluetooth. So I have my phone in here as well, and it also came with this little stand, and I actually used this at the Indie Author panel because we had tables out front beforehand, so we could like talk to people, sell our books, things like that. I actually did sell a copy, so that was a pleasant surprise. But I actually used this to prop up one of my books. So, but normally I use this to prop up my phone, and then I have the keyboard. So worth it. I use this a lot because my handwriting is absolute rubbish, and it's kind of hard to read sometimes, especially if you don't know my handwriting. So of course for writer's workshop that becomes an issue. So, and I write slower than my brain. I don't write as quickly as I would like. So by having the keyboard, I'm able to just pop this open and I can type really fast, and then because it's just print on my phone, they can read it well as well. So this is, I have a picture from some washi tape of Leonardo da Vinci, whom I absolutely love, and a quote that I heard from Westworld, but I don't think that's where it came from. and it is Mozart, Beethoven, and Chopin never died. They simply became music, and I think that is so inspiring. And then, of course, the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense from Hellboy. So actually this year for the Indie Author Day, we got really awesome goodie bags, and one of the things they gave us was this amazing journal. So it's got a metal leaf on it, and then that kind of wraps around, and you've got pockets for business cards, just a big pocket for whatever kind of scrap you need. It's got tabs. This all came with it, and they got these beautiful blank brown pages, and it's ringed so you can take the pages out and rearrange them if you want to. That was amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is gorgeous. It even smells wonderful. It's ridiculous. Other thing I got, I think this was originally, I bought it as is. I think this is originally what the Harry Potter makeup brushes, what that comes in. I just bought it as just this, as a pencil case years ago. It had a little owl on it, but it finally fell off. So in here I have some colored pencils, a highlighter, a red pen, a regular, well, kind of a regular pen, a couple sort of regular pens. So this one is a light as well as like a stylus, if you will. So this can be used on touch screens and things like that. A nice calligraphy pen. This is from my brother, I believe. So it just looks gorgeous. And then this is the pen that came with the journal. So it's very sleek. It has the same kind of stylus end, but it's also just, okay, this one was a pen. So having something to physically write with, use screens with, especially like, you know, if I'm out and I'm eating, you know, and I want to, okay, just do it that way. So if I'm out and I'm eating and I don't want to get my phone covered in greasy fingers, and you know, I can use one of these, which is very, very nice. And then of course, if I want to take notes by hand, I can. I'm going through, you know, like preparing to present my presentation on author platforms. You know, I was able to just grab a pen and add notes to the side in a couple different colors. This also means if I'm there to do edits or proofreads or things like that, by having a red pen, I can go through and circle things and add notes or just underline. This, I find having red is really good for like the grammatical errors or punctuation errors better, because this is smaller. So you can add those quotation marks, you can add the commas, you can cross out the periods, whatever it is that you need to do. And then the highlighter is good for circling things or, you know, marking up an entire sentence. You know, this needs to be reworded, this whole paragraph doesn't make sense, anything like that. So, and just by having it all in one little thing like this, you know, if I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be doing things by hand, I just have to grab this. Hair clip. I also have, I currently live in Texas, so you can kind of just have whatever. It's just a little knife. Just growing up as a Youper, pretty much everyone has knives. They're just so darn convenient to have. But the other thing is this has a Phillips head and a flat head. Actually just use that to adjust my light there. And then it's also kind of like a pretend carabiner thing, if you will. So and a bottle opener on it. So this thing is just very handy. I've used this a lot. I have more pens in here. There's specific pencil holder things in this. There's another pouch and a teeny tiny stapler. And then this metal hook on the back can also be used to remove staples. So if I have a bunch of pages, so say I have a printed page and I've, you know, marked that up pretty well, but I have more notes that won't fit on the page because I have my notebook with me, I can do a page of notes on there and then staple that page to the printed page, or just staple a bunch of pages together if I need to, so that way they stay in order. Because I don't know about you, but my mind can get kind of chaotic, so if I don't organize things physically, it's never going to be organized in any way. So, stapler. And that's everything that I need as a writer. There's even another pocket in this back one here, but there's nothing in there. So there's more pockets than I technically need for now. But in the future, there's probably going to be more stuff that I need or want, or things like that, you know, eventually, you know, because I do want to live abroad at some point, and I mean, this at some point is going to be my office. So having something that I'm using now but has room for more growth in the future is really important, because, you know, eventually I'm going to want to have like a tablet in here so I can, you know, do, you know, maybe design bookmarks or book covers and things like that myself, or just be able to have a bigger screen to look at, you know, do you agree with this formatting, yes or no? I can't just do everything on my phone. So being able to have room for that growth is important, I think. And that is my bag. Thank you so much for watching. Likes, comments, and subscribes are wildly appreciated. My book, Heaven Killer, is coming out spring 2022. If you want to check out my book, Blood Fiercely Defended, you can read the first 3 chapters for free on my website. The links are down below. And if you would like to buy a copy of Blood Fiercely Defended, that's also down below. So thank you so much for watching and giving me those comments, those likes. Always appreciated. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.